Othello is the story of a man whose great love for Desdemona rocks the heavens. But his jealousy is even greater. It's one of Shakespeare's celebrated tragedies, and one of the reasons it's so tragic is due to its villain, Iago. Samuel Hardy is playing that role, and he's here from the university's Department of Theater and Dance to tell me more about it. Samuel, thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
One of Shakespeare's great tragedies, a little bit underrated in my opinion.
Of course.
You don't hear as much about it as you do, say, Romeo and Juliet or Hamlet, but certainly a show worth doing, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Othello, it was written towards the latter part of Shakespeare's body of work, and you can tell because of that he had a lot of time to grow into it as a playwright, and he was really starting to get frustrated somewhat with the restraints of style that we see in a lot of his other works, and it breaks out from that at certain points and becomes a lot more human and a lot more powerful.
Let's talk a little bit about your character. And in my opinion, Iago is probably one of Shakespeare's best villains. What's your take on Iago?
I would agree, and our director Seth Panich definitely agreed from the start that he is one of the better villains because of his complexity. There's a long-standing theatrical tradition to sort of just play him off as pure evil, and that's entertaining melodrama, but it's not compelling tragedy. So we're trying to break out a lot of those stereotypes, and we're presenting Iago as a tactical mastermind. He is first and foremost a soldier, and it's a production that takes place in army conditions, essentially. So he's a tactical mastermind, and without a war to occupy him, he sets out to destroy these people's lives, more or less. And he comes from a place of hurt and jealousy. He feels a connection to Othello as a soldier, and he feels like he's been snubbed when he's passed over for promotion, when Othello more or less leaves the army to be with Desdemona. So that's what sets this plot of destruction in motion from his perspective.
Idle hands for the evil genius. Never a good thing.
No, not at all.
Now, you said something interesting to me during the break. You guys are going to try and crunch this down and get it all in 2 hours, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's going to be more than speed talking. You had to make some edits here and there, right?
Indeed. The professor in charge, our director, Seth Panich, like I said, he has done a very masterful job of cutting down Shakespeare's text to really get to the core of the exchanges between people. And there's a lot of superfluous stuff in the script that you'd expect, you know, for Shakespeare's times, because it's people standing in theater in the middle of the day. You have to keep them interested. So there's bits with clowns, and sometimes there'd be animals in other shows, not this one. But a lot of extra scenes that are more for comedy and keeping the audience entertained. And for the psychological exploration that we're doing, we don't necessarily need that. So we were able to cut out those portions of the script, cut out a few of the longer speeches that don't drive the story, and really get it down to the interactions between the major players on the stage. And it's also a big audience draw. Most people think, oh, Shakespeare, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 hours. But we can say, no, we'll get you in and out here 2 hours or maybe a little bit more.
There you go, just like going to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Samuel, good luck with the role and break a leg.
Thank you so much.
You can catch Othello February 18th through the 24th at the Marion Galloway Theater. That's on the UA campus. For tickets and showtimes, call 205-348-3400 or online at theater.ua.edu.